What is up, everyone? I finished up my sniper build, and I wanted to share this with you. It's amazing. As you can see, I'm getting around 17.2 million DPS. Yes, that is not a bug. It's not actually like real DPS, but hey, it's still pretty cool. It is true, though. I'm hitting for 17.2 million. It's actually higher than that because my armor damage is not being calculated into this last damage hit. The number you see on the target is higher than this right here. I'm going to show you how to be able to hit like this. Pretty simple build. But to get some of the pieces, you're going to have done the raid. So keep that in mind. What this is a 3-piece Aces and Eights, 3-piece Araldi's build. And it uses the Nemesis, and I like to use the SVD as my secondary. As far as the stats go, I'm going to show that off first so I don't forget, like my last video. We've got, 630,000 on the gun. We've got 46% crit chance. I'm working on getting that higher. I can go over some of the ways that I can get that higher. 59 crit damage. 222 headshot damage. And we've got 89% damage to elites. So overall, this is pretty insane. We've got 100% marksman rifle damage combined with the all weapons, which is pretty nice. And that's not even including the 30% from my chest or the 10% while in cover. That'd be 140% weapon damage. But the in cover damage is actually multiplicative, so that's even better. So to go over the build, obviously Nemesis sniper rifle. If you don't have it, highly recommend you look into getting it because it's a guaranteed item as long as you do what you need to do every week. I think it takes around 3 weeks to get this rifle. You just got to get the parts. I'm not going to tell you how to get it. You can look that up. Secondary rifle I use is the SVD. This is really good for getting aces back, or if anyone comes close to you, you can shoot them with it, and it's pretty awesome. I actually don't have it modified properly. Actually, yeah, I do. Never mind. You want to make sure if you do use this gun that you use the C79 scope, because when you use this, it actually counts towards the headshot damage holstered talent of the Nemesis, and they never did fix that, so that's really awesome. I actually spec it for stability myself rather than damage to elites because it lets me spam shoot the gun. I can show you in a bit here how well this thing shoots. And I also spec stability on the grip instead of crit chance or accuracy. I've tested both. And I do a 5-round magazine in there. The talents that I prefer for the secondary gun is Lucky Shot. It's really nice. This thing got buffed. It ups the magazine size 20%. Missed shots from cover have a 100% chance to return to the magazine. It doesn't consume them. And I think the best talent on this is actually optimized or accurate because of how you can spam this gun. If you miss your shots, it doesn't use the bullets. It shoots forever. And this gun's crazy. It does a lot of damage. It's got really, really good recoil. You can full spam it at just insane rates of fire. And it's just crazy. Let me just show you. And then when you get a full house, or 4 of a kind, or whatever it is, full house, it gets 30-something rounds in the magazine. So as you can see, this gun can just spam like crazy. At full rate of fire, the groupings are pretty damn consistent. And you can also fire it pretty quickly if you're not going full rate of fire. So I really like the SVD as a secondary. If you guys didn't know, I didn't know this until the other day, you can change the shooting range difficulty. Heroic will set it at 4-player heroic level of health. So you can get better tests, I think, when you do that. Okay, so as far as the gear goes, I use a pistol right now with In Rhythm. I'm going to get the named pistol. I forget what it's called, but you get it in the dark zone. Today's actually a good day to farm for it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to take part in that, unfortunately, today, because I've got other things I got to do. But it's got perfect finisher. Highly recommend that. And then you could roll In Rhythm onto it. I like In Rhythm. You can actually use whatever. But yeah, people might think that this is too low of health. This is not too low of health. It really isn't. So don't worry about having no blues. I do the raid, and we can kill, the guys that start the gas, the 3 bosses, the 3 fat boys. You can kill them before you die with 27,000 health. Now, if you're not in a good group, obviously you probably would have issues. But this kills things so fast that you can pop out, deal the damage, and kill them. It's great. Plus, when you have your aces and eights, you're getting bonus armor. And you can use a repair drone, or you can use a defender drone to reduce the damage. In PvE, the defender drone's really good. It's 80% damage reduction. So is the repair drone. This thing will keep your armor going, and it lasts a really long time. So that's another really good choice. It's up to you what you want. I do recommend the Reviver Hive, because in those instances that you do get taken out, Reviver Hive is going to be pretty important. So let's get on to the build. 3 pieces of aces and 3 pieces of Araldis. The 3-piece bonus of aces is the flip a card by shooting an enemy with your marksman rifle. Headshots flip 2 cards. Full House gives you 100% magazine size. 4 of a Kind gives you 30% bonus armor. And Aces and 8s grants the next 5 bullets 100% bonus damage. There's been a hidden change to this. Aces and 8s grants 5 bullets, but they actually have to hit. If you get aces and 8s and shoot the wall, it doesn't consume your aces. They made it even stronger. Let me just demonstrate it real quick here. So here's aces and 8s. So I have 5 shots, and it doesn't matter if it's lucky shot. It does not consume my aces. I can just shoot the wall forever. And eventually it'll expire. But aces is not being consumed, which is really cool. But if I shoot something, it will consume it. So keep that in mind. Let's debuff this target real quick and see if we can get a nice juicy crit on him. Here we go. Non-crit, 15 million. Well, 14.5 on this thing. But yeah, let's go through the gear. Ace's Mask is what I choose. Some people are probably wondering why not Perfect Concussion. Concussion doesn't actually help, or even just regular concussion. It doesn't help with your first shot. You have 5 seconds to follow up, which you can hit with Nemesis, but it doesn't help your first shot. Most things that you shoot with this are going to die in 1 shot, so I recommend an Ace's Mask. I've got 49 damage to elites on it right now. I am going to roll higher when I find a higher one. I've got a 55, but it's on my my Douglas and Harding mask. But this thing has 9.5 crit, and it will let me put the 55 with still more room. So that's pretty crazy. 9.5 crit chance. As much damage to elites as you want. And then I've got this modified with a marksman rifle damage, damage to armor, and weapon damage mod. If I did put, just all marksman rifle damage, it would show a higher number right here, but the number hit on target would actually be less because damage to armor is great. Backpack, I crafted this if you didn't know. Backpacks roll passive talents now, and that's huge. So I got my hard-hitting attribute here, or talent, 25% damage to elites. These don't stack anymore, so keep that in mind. This thing rolled 14 crit chance, 5.5 weapon damage, and 7.5 crit damage. Well, I rolled the crit chance on it. I had the choice of either rolling the weapon damage a little bit higher or rolling the crit chance very high. And I went with the crit chance since my crit damage is pretty decent in this build. It's got 2 red mod slots, which is nice. So overall, this is giving me 5 reds. Some of these are marksman rifle weapon damage, damage to health, marksman rifle damage to armor. Use whatever your best mods are. Oh, and by the way, Ace's 2-piece. It's 10% marksman rifle damage. That's another really good bonus right there. And then for my chest, I'm running the Pristine Example, the Raldi's named piece, and it rolls perfect vigilance. You gain 30% weapon damage as long as you haven't taken damage for 4 seconds. So if you take damage, 4 seconds goes by when you don't have the buff, and then it comes back. It's great. This is like some huge damage. So perfect vigilance is a must-have for this build. Prior to this Title Update 6 patch, there really wasn't good options for sniper rifles. It was either Unstoppable Force, which required 7 blues, or just, having damage to elites there. That's what I used to use. But now that we have this, it's great. There's another really good option, which would be 511s, if you don't go with the Araldis. So that's actually really cool, because 511 rolls 5 reds. 3 red attributes, 2 red mod slots, and it can get regular vigilance. Sure, it's 5% less weapon damage, but you make up for that with the red mod slot. You can also make up for damage with a red attribute, but what you're missing out on is 10% sniper rifle damage or marksman rifle damage. So keep that in mind. Just because Araldis is really good for the 3-piece, it is potentially possible, I think, to have a better 511. I don't know if they were both perfect, if it would be possible, but depending on how good your Araldis is and how good your 511 is, you might be able to have a better 511. So keep that in mind. As far as gloves, I'm running Araldis with Precise. You got a few different options on the gloves. Mine only have 10 marksman rifle. I'd like to get some better ones. Right now I'm running Precise. I could swap that out for surgical. And if I swapped it for surgical, I would then have 56 crit chance. Almost cap. Cap is 60. That would be really, really nice. That'd be 56 crit chance. But I haven't done it. I did the math last night. I have really bad math, but it sounded like when I averaged it out that the crit chance would add around, 200,000 average more damage, or 200,000 without aces. And then the headshot damage is adding around 300,000. So I just went with the headshot damage because that's pretty consistent. The other option is Wicked. Wicked got changed. It's actually kind of nerfed and kind of buffed. It depends how you look at it. Wicked used to be multiplicative. That's the biggest nerf. Also, Wicked used to be when an enemy was under a status effect, you dealt bonus damage to it. Now it's not like that. Now when you apply a status effect, you gain 15% weapon damage. So in many ways this is buffed, in many ways it's nerfed. You can no longer have one person apply a status effect, and then everyone who's wearing Wicked get the multiplicative damage. There is a perfect Wicked glove out there, but I'm not using it. It's 20%. And here's the thing, though. If you apply a status effect, you get this damage for 20 seconds. So it can be to multiple targets. And this is a really, really good option. So what you can do is, you throw a flashbang grenade, and now all of a sudden, I have, perfect Wicked. Or not perfect Wicked, but I have Wicked for 20 seconds. So my damage is actually going to be higher. And that's pretty cool. Okay, so we got aces here. Let's debuff this. And then we'll throw another grenade. And get our Wicked up and see if we can get a lucky crit here. Boom, 17.789 million. So obviously, this can hit harder. So this is another really good option. And I really like this option. This is great. So I gained what? I think I used to be 17.2, I'm not sure. But I think that hit for 18 million. My eyes don't really work, but the DPS or the damage here is lower because it's not factoring in my my headshot damage, you know what I mean? But roughly 18 million with this build, and that is amazing. Really, really amazing. So keep that in mind. Wicked is a great option. What you're going to have to do is apply status effects. But that's not that hard. You've got your flashbang grenades, and that's really the only way you're going to be applying them with this build. There's other skills you could use that could do it, but you might not want to, invest into that. So it's personally up to you. I go with damage to headshots because, that's pretty easy. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about finding grenades because you will run out of grenades if you're trying to do that every 20 seconds. You definitely will. You can't find grenades fast enough. At least I don't find grenades fast enough to throw in every 20 seconds. That would be cool, though. And then we've got holsters. Holsters is aces. This got buffed. It's got 2 red mod slots now, so a total of 4 reds. I crafted this. Last night, I crafted this holster and this backpack. It didn't take me that many tries. I got pretty lucky. So it rolled 11.5 crit damage. And then I don't even know if it rolled crit chance or a blue, but you can change colors now. So I rolled it to crit chance. I can actually roll this to 16. So then we gain another crit chance when I do find a 16. I have a few, but I'm not willing to sacrifice them on this. They're already on really good pieces of gear. So that would put us up to 47 crit chance once we do that. And that's pretty awesome. It would be 57 if we went surgical on the gloves, which is also really awesome. So yeah, red mod slots, put your best mods in there. I really prefer things that have damage to armor because that can help. It's a different multiplier. It does more damage than just pure weapon damage. And it's more useful than damage to health because most things have armor when you shoot them. And if they don't, they're probably going to die no matter what. But it can help with your first shot damage. And it will also help kill them. So if they have armor, it affects their entire health pool, even their health, if you get what I'm saying. Then final thing is knee pads. Araldi knee pads. These shouldn't be too hard to get. You need composure on them. They come with a red mod slot. Again, put your best mod. This mod is insane. This is by far, I think, my best mod. This is a 4 1.5, so that's 5.5 marksman rifle and 1 to armor. 6.5 total. I wish I had all my mods like this one. This one's great. But composure is a really, really, really good talent. It is multiplicative damage, so keep that in mind. This 10% is not just weapon damage like the other weapon damages. It actually multiplies the damage way better. It's really good. And I could add another 1.5 crit chance on here. I did just find another 9% crit chance pair of knee pads that I could throw on there. So that would add another 1.5. And that would put us up to what? Potentially 58.5 crit chance right there. And that is pretty crazy. Almost capped out by re-rolling that. And there's still room for more crit chance on the backpack too. So potentially, when I find these other pieces, we're going to be able to cap the crit out with a surgical pair of gloves. I don't know if I showed you my chest attributes. Headshot damage, weapon damage, really, really good. And then skills, like I said earlier, it's up to you. You can choose between the healing drone or the defender drone. They're both really good. I will probably use the healing drone myself because it lasts a really long time. And it lasts like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It lasts almost 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 5:40. That's like 9 minutes, I believe. Exactly 9 minutes. And it is insane. It doesn't seem like the enemies really kill it. The only time this thing ever dies for me is after you kill a dog and it EMPs it. It's great. Sure, it doesn't have much health, but they don't seem to actually ever target this thing. And it heals you really, really fast. Here, let me show you how fast this thing can heal you. You just pop your little drone and you sit in cover and blip, blip, blip. I mean, it's not an insane amount, but it's not bad. it just constantly will give you that generation. So as long as you have it up and you're sitting in cover, when you take damage, that thing will keep you alive. I like the little healing drone better, but, you know, I can't use that since I'm sharpshooter. You can put mods in this to make it better, but, you know, I don't have much skill power, so the only skill power you're going to have on this build likely is from your batteries. So you might be able to put like 2 batteries in it and 1 mod, like a super low level mod, that's like 500 skill power or less, something like that. 600 skill power or less if you have 2 good batteries, since they nerfed them. So keep that in mind. I don't know what else to really show. I think I got everything. I don't really feel like showing this build in action. You can check me out live, Twitch TV/Inigo Montoya, and sometimes I'll be using it there. But it's pretty basic. I mean, it's a pretty boring build because you just... some people really like it. You just one-shot everything. It's crazy. And also, a lot of enemies, like if they're reds, you don't need to charge up sometimes. I mean, these guys, obviously, since they're heroic, you do. But if you're clearing, like, landmarks and stuff, or whatever they're called, not landmarks, but the things in the open world, and they're not heroic, you can just, you know, one-shot these things really, really easily without charging. So you can just find one and do one of these little shots. I'm in heroic right now, so it's not working. But you don't need to charge your nemesis to actually kill a lot of the lower level enemies. So keep that in mind when using your nemesis. You don't need to always charge it all the way up. And a lot of times you don't, unless it's the big boys. So once you use the build, you'll get a little bit more used to it and learn when or when not to charge up. As you can see, this is on the hardest difficulty in heroic. And it requires, if I don't have aces, you know, a little bit of a charge to kill them. But not much. And the more you use the build, the more familiar you'll get with the damage. And I really recommend one of these SVDs for the purpose of, you know, you can use this to build your aces. And aces now makes a way louder sound. So when you get aces, you will know. You won't have to be watching it. You can just kind of use this. Now I have aces. It's that loud sound. So then we can switch to the nemesis, and the next 5 shots, I hit will actually be, you know, really high damage. And let's do a no charge up. 800,000 on a no charge. These don't require much charge at all if you have aces up. Like basically nothing. That one needed a little bit more than what I gave it, but really, really cool. I love this build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've got other builds going on. You can check them out on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hit the little bell icon if you want notifications for when I post new videos. And you can always check me out, Twitch TV/Inigo Montoya. I'm constantly trying to theory craft and, you know, improve builds. And just playing with all different play styles. I'm really, really liking this patch, and I hope you guys are too. I didn't go over my specialist abilities, the sharpshooter subclass. It's full. I put everything in there, so there's nothing really special there. Just make sure you've got your sniper rifle damage and whatnot. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, guys.